there's no escape. Over your shoulder, don't look away. Get ready.
Good evening, and welcome to the first ever New York City Rubberball League Draft. I want to start off by thanking all of you who stuck with us for the past, a little less than a year between our showcases and our events and going through the process. But tonight is the night where it all begins for real. I, myself, and Co-Commissioner Richard are definitely proud of the product we put in place. And again, tonight is where the dreams really come true. So with that being said, we are officially ready to kick off the NYC RBL selection meeting. The Staten Island 61s are on the clock.
Welcome, one and all, to the inaugural RBL selection meeting, aka the draft. I am your Commissioner, Demetrius Edwards George. Alongside with me to my right is Co-Commissioner Richard Castro. Let's give everybody a wave. Thank you. Along with us are two of our vaunted prospects, designated hitter Gamaliel Rodriguez Jr. out of Brooklyn, and also out of Brooklyn, pitching prospect Michael Mell, representing his hometown borough with the Brooklyn Bitch in the background. To all of you watching either here on YouTube in the premiere, we want to thank you so much for being with us for the past year or so. And to all of our prospecting tonight, I want to thank you for sticking it out. Thank you for being a part of something great and something great for the future. All right, I do believe we are ready for the first pick in the draft, and let's go to the podium.
And so here it is, a moment in history. The first pick ever in the RBL draft. And with that being said, with the first pick in the RBL draft, the Staten Island 61s select Andy Fernandez, an infielder from the Bronx. The Manhattan Expos are on the clock.
And so there it is. Andy Fernandez out of the Bronx is our first ever selection in the draft. And Andy Fernandez started out as a round 3 projected pick, but he showed out in our showcase at Central Park and came to our draft combine and proved his 5-star status. Andy Fernandez has also been playing baseball since the age of 3. So that just shows off more of his skill set. He's only 19. So not only is he rookie eligible, he's also going to be a force in this league for years to come. On top of that, he's a big hitter. Knows where to find the ball out of the zone and definitely pluck it out of there. Came out Central Park 5 for 5 in his first game, and undoubtedly one of the biggest hits of last season. He is just phenomenal. Great to see what he does. The face of the franchise for Staten Island for years to come, and definitely the face of the league. Very happy to have Andy as our number 1 pick. And also, our own Alex Garrett, who unfortunately couldn't have been here tonight, had a chance to have a few words with Andy.
And we are back at the RBL Rubber Baseball League combine with Andy Fernandez. Andy, thanks for joining me.
Nice to meet you, bro.
What's it like to play for RBL?
I mean, it's pretty good, I have pretty fun time, It's always fun to be out here and play. And we always see, we always have some fans cheering for us, and that's good, I play travel ball. I play for the league was called Caribe League, and it was in the Bronx. I played a few games there before I quit because I didn't see much of a competition there.
And you're 19 now, so you've been playing since age of 3. That's pretty remarkable. Andy, why'd you choose the RBL? Like, what was the motive to join?
I mean, I wanted to show off my skills, and really I really want to get back into the game.
What are your expectations for this combine for yourself? Like,
honestly, I'm going for the trophy, for the MVP trophy.
Okay, so you're gunning for it then.
Yeah.
All right, look out. Andy's gunning for the trophy. So we'll have MVP of this whole combine. We'll see what happens.
All right. The second pick. Here it comes. Go to the podium.
With the second pick in the RBL draft, the Manhattan Expos select Eddie Linehan, a pitcher from Brooklyn.
Eddie Linehan becomes our second pick of the draft and our first pitcher off the board. Another 5-star prospect, was slated to be a top 5 pick right out of the gate. And Eddie Linehan definitely came out to the draft combine and raised that status to become the number 2 pick. Eddie Linehan has a great backstory, although coming in the league at the age of 30. Was an all-ESPN Northeast Region pitcher out of James Madison High School in Brooklyn. And let me read off some of these stats to you real fast. In 3 years at James Madison, he went 28-1 with an 0.89 ERA. So he is shaking off the rust for sure. And at the expense of our other prospect, Michael Mel, we can sense here that Linehan's got great movement. Really good movement, a very live fastball. Forces swings out of the zone, forces swings and misses, forces ground balls, he forces contact. And he's got some great stuff. He was also our draft combine's MVP, as you see here, getting the punch out here on our good old co-commissioner. And Eddie Linehan proving to be the top pitching prospect, and I hope to see what he does for this Expos franchise. And he as well, we got a chance to talk with our own Alex Garrett.
Eddie, thanks for joining today. What's the difference here?
Well, this is my first time throwing one of these rubber balls, so it's a major difference. Throw the ball straight, you're getting movement every which way, so it's something I got to get used to. But
I see you're already working on it, so how's that been so far?
Hey, so far so good, you know. Everything's flying up, but I'll get the zone.
Are you another one that found this on Instagram?
Yes.
Cool.
Scrolling through Instagram one day, seen it, and it caught my eyes. Didn't get a part of it.
Did you do any research about this before starting, or?
No, I just followed you guys' page and checking every day, reading about everything you guys put up, and it definitely caught my eye.
And so what do you traditionally do in softball? Like what's your...
Softball, I normally play third or outfield, but growing up, I was a pitcher, high school, college. So
it's a different thing. I even tried that yesterday. I was zoning in there a little bit, but it's a little different.
Yeah, it'll get there. It's going to take time. It's not something you're just going to pick it up.
Hitting, you're going to enjoy the hitting part, okay? That ball
yeah, I'm excited
flies
for that.
Off the bat,
I'm excited for that.
All right, third pick is ready to go. Let's go to the podium.
With the third pick in the RBO draft, the Long Island Lookouts select Andrew Montero Jr., a pitcher from Queens. The Bronx Rubberball Club is on the clock.
It's a shame he slipped to third here, but Andrew Montero Jr., aka Taro, is a name I've waited to come off the board from day one, and he is one of the OGs of our meetings, and this is how old it is. He came out here when we were still using catchers. Andrew Montero Jr. is without a doubt a 5-star prospect with a very lively fastball. He's got very good location, very good movement on that fastball too. And if you think he's great on the mound, wait till you see what he does at the plate. A huge threat with the ball in his hand and with the bat in his hand. These clips courtesy of our guys down at Mid-Atlantic Wiffle and Golden Stick Whiffs. And so Andrew Montero Jr., without a doubt, a all-around prospect. And an obvious reason why he was slated to be the number 1 pick from day one. A shame again that he slipped down to third. But Andrew Montero Jr. is slated to tear up the league from day one. And I cannot wait to see what he brings to the table. All right, here it is. Let's go to the podium for the 4th pick of the RBO draft.
With the 4th pick in the RBL draft, the Bronx Rubberball Club select Gamaliel Rodriguez Jr., a designated hitter from Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Bridges. Around the clock.
Gamaliel Rodriguez Jr. out of Brooklyn is by far one of the more dedicated prospects I have seen. He came in the league actually as a pitching prospect, and if there are 2 words I can describe G-Rod with, it's untapped potential. He is very, and I mean very patient at the plate. He knows when not to swing on a pitch, and when he does lay off one, he's got some sneaky contact. On a couple of these, he's come down from 2 strike counts. 1 ball and 1 strike counts, 2 strike counts, and then sometimes he'll let it loose, and he'll know when to tear off on one. Again, Rodriguez Jr., rookie eligible, might I add. Definitely, I hope to see him grow into one of the great players in this league. And again, his potential is just limitless. Can't wait to see what he does for us in the future. And there it is, his moment in the sun at long last. One of our more dedicated prospects, Gamaliel Rodriguez Jr., who actually started off with us as a pitcher. However, we did see a lot of his potential as a potential designated hitter, so it was so great to see him improve and develop over the summer. And we are glad to be with him here, live. So Gammy, 4th pick, how do you feel?
I feel awesome and excited.
That's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. Like we said, we're very impressed with you, how you improved over the summer. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see how you improved this summer, for sure.
Thank you.
All right. That being said, we're ready to go to the podium for the 5th pick.
With the 5th pick in the RBL draft, the Brooklyn Bridges select Nick DeConey, a utility player from Jersey City, New Jersey. The Queens County Flyers are on the clock.
Nick DeConey is an interesting prospect in that he's the first player outside of the New York City area as a 4.5-star prospect. He puts the utility in the utility player. He can be a great starter. He can come in as relief. He can be a great glove in the in and or outfield, and he can be a big bet in the lineup. So Nick DeConey has a great skill set, a great 5-tool player, and as somebody who's grounded out to him twice in a showcase we had out in Central Park, I can attest that Nick DeConey will be one of the great players for the Brooklyn Bridges in the years to come. Although being one of the oldest with rookie eligibility in this class in the year 2023, I'm sure Nick will rise to the occasion and become one of the better rookies in this year's draft class. Again, with his arm, his skills, and his great bat, there will not be a spot that Nick DeConey will not be able to fill for this Brooklyn Bridges squad.
With the 6th pick in the RBL draft, the Queens County Flyers select Daniel LeBron, a utility player from the Bronx. That will conclude the first round of the RBL draft. We will resume with the second round, where the Queens County Flyers remain on the clock.
Rounding out the first round, we have Daniel LeBron, a 3-star utility player out of the Bronx. He has a decent bat from what I've seen from our showcase at Riverside. As a utility player, he hasn't shown much as far as pitching or fielding, but he has said that he can be a leader for a contender right away, and I do see that in his future. We will have to see if this Flyers squad does contend for a title right off the bat, but if LeBron can become the leader for this squad for years to come, that would be great.
We at the RBO want to take this time out to shout out some people who have helped us out along the way, starting with our guys down at Golden Stick Whips. Rob, well, I appreciate you having us out there. Show us a great time. I also want to shout out Fun Guys at Penno, who made us these hats for draft night. So we are very much appreciative of you guys, and we hope to have your continued support through our journey. Alright, so the first pick of the second round, with the 7th pick in the RBO draft, the Queens County Flyers select Antonio Diaz, a utility player from Staten Island. The Brooklyn Bridges are on the clock.
Now, I'm sad to say we did have footage on Antonio Diaz, but however, we lost the files. So, that being said, Antonio Diaz did come to one of our showcases, one of the last ones we had at Dutch Coast Playground, and he had a great performance. A very adept pitcher, very good in the outfield, and very good power at the plate. He had a ball pretty far. It actually landed in the hockey rink close to the baseball field. So, can't wait to see him bring that skill set to Ravenswood next season for the Flyers, who are looking to have a stacked roster for the next year or so. Alright, congrats to Antonio Diaz, the 7th pick, the first pick of the second round. Can't wait to see what he does. With that being said, we are ready to go back to the podium for the 8th pick of the draft.
With the 8th pick in the RBO draft, the Brooklyn Bridges select Michael Mell, a pitcher from Brooklyn, New York. The Bronx Rubberball team is on the clock.
Michael Mell shot up draft boards as soon as August turned into September by showing up at the combine that we had late in that month and absolutely showing off whatever skills he has, and boy are there a lot. Number one, he's a southpaw, so that deceptive nature is going to come as it is. As you can see, he forces swings out of the zone, and even when it looks like it's not going to hit the strike zone, you want to make contact with it. On top of that, he's got sneaky good location. He's got great movement on his fastball, great movement on a couple of his breaking balls, and again, that contact out of the zone will force a ground ball out of anybody. It started out tough for him in the beginning, but once he became confident in his pitches, he let it fly, and he showed it in more ways than one. Prime example, this slider that got me on the outside corner still keeps me up at night. So now Michael gets to represent Brooklyn from out the gate, and again, he got to talk with our very own Alex Garrett.
And with me right now is Mikey. He's one of our regular pitchers here. And what's made me out here today?
I was just here to enjoy the weather, enjoy some baseball. Actually, I started pitching here. I enjoy it. I love it.
So how different is this? I mean, it's literally a little rubber ball. How different is that?
The ball is a lot different.
The movement on it must be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what I noticed in pitching is you guys are working on your craft. So what are you working on mechanics-wise?
Basically, I'm just trying to hit that plate. That's it.
It is pretty rewarding to hear that clang, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so how'd you find out about RBL?
I was just scrolling Instagram. Basically, found it, liked it, followed.
What are you looking forward to working on today?
Just having fun. Just working on my mechanics. Just
You're competitive by nature, so I'm sure you're going to want to zone it in.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, and it's funny because I'm repping Staten Island, he's repping Brooklyn, so a bit of a rivalry there. All right, well, good luck today, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the big man himself with his own very own moment. Michael Mell, representing Brooklyn right out the gate. I remember him specifically from our draft combine contest. And when I tell you that this guy's got some sneaky good movement, some sneaky location, that one pitch that he dotted me on still keeps me up at night. And we are also glad to have him here live. Michael, 8th pick of the draft. It was a long time coming, but here we are.
I'm excited, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to play. I can't wait to represent, the home.
Awesome,
Brooklyn
bro.
on my back. Gotta represent,
Represent those British, baby. We're wearing that Brooklyn blue for years to come, man. So happy for you.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
With the 9th pick in the RBL draft, the Bronx Rubberball Club select Alexander Brady, an outfielder from Brooklyn. The Long Island Lookouts are on the clock.
I didn't get to see Alexander Brady over the summer in any of our showcases, but he is still very excited to be with us. He is rookie eligible due to his experience. He did play 2 years of high school ball, but on top of that, he's also a wrestler, so he has definite athleticism. And I can't wait to see how that translates to the rubberball field come May.
With the 10th pick in the RBL draft, the Long Island Lookouts select Danny Vargas, an outfielder from the Bronx. The Manhattan Expos are on the clock.
Danny Vargas, another prospect I'm excited to see for the very first time. Didn't get to see him over the summer, but he does leave us with a quote. As being a Yankees fan, winning is everything, and that being the best is something you would strive for, and nothing less. So I can't wait to see him bring that to this Long Island Lookouts roster, and see if he can build that franchise from the ground up alongside Andrew Montero Jr.
With the 11th pick in the RBL draft, the Manhattan Expos select Luis Ortiz, a pitcher from Brooklyn, New York. The Staten Island 61s are on the clock.
Luis Ortiz, another pitcher out of Brooklyn, seemingly a theme for the Manhattan Expos. As Ortiz is another great story coming off of arm surgery, I believe elbow surgery from last summer, which is why he didn't come out to any of our showcases. But regardless, the Expos do need pitching, so hopefully Ortiz will be able to bolster that roster. Also played hardball for the New York City Metro Baseball League, so some experience there on his end, and I can't wait to see how he fares come opening day.
With the 12th pick in the RBL draft, the Staten Island 61s select Travis Peterson, a pitcher from Staten Island. That will conclude the second round of the RBL draft. I will now turn things over to our co-commissioner, Richard Castro, who will resume the draft with the third round, where the Staten Island 61s are on the clock.
And so our final pick of the second round, we have native Staten Islander Travis Peterson, who we made a mistake in announcing his selection, but that's okay. However, Travis Peterson, another vaunted pitcher in this draft class, who we are excited for his debut, and can't wait to see what he does in this league for years to come. Congratulations to Travis.
Good evening. This is the first pick of the third round. With the 13th pick, the Staten Island 61s select Matthew Corhan, pitcher from Long Island City, New York. The Manhattan Expos are on the clock. With the 14th pick, the Manhattan Expos select Jalen Perez, outfielder from Queens, New York. With the 15th pick, the Long Island Lookouts select Michael Burke, pitcher and designated hitter from Staten Island, New York. The Bronx Rubberball Club are on the clock. With the 16th pick, the Bronx Rubberball Club select Isaac Martinez, pitcher from Manhattan. The Brooklyn Bridges are on the clock. With the 17th pick, the Brooklyn Bridges select Quinlan Cronin, infielder from Manhattan. The Queens County Flyers are on the clock. With the 18th pick, the Queens County Flyers select Will Carley, pitcher. That will conclude the third round. The Queens County Flyers will remain on the clock.
Thank you, Rich. So guys, I want to highlight Long Island Lookout selection Michael Burke, who will be entering the league at the age of 50. So he for sure will be one of the league's elder statesmen. On top of that, I also want to highlight Bronx selection pitcher Isaac Martinez, who pitches and plays baseball at different levels. So a very talented ball player, and I am more than excited to see what he brings to the RBL next season.
This is now the first pick of the fourth round. With the 19th pick, the Queens County Flyers select J.D. Johnson, designated hitter. The Brooklyn Bridges are on the clock. With the 20th pick, the Brooklyn Bridges select Damian Perez, pitcher from Astoria. The Bronx Rubberball Club are on the clock. With the 21st pick, the Bronx Rubberball Club select John Morales, utility player from Brooklyn. The Long Island Lookouts are on the clock. With the 22nd pick, the Long Island Lookouts select Keelan Rembert, pitcher from Manhattan. The Manhattan Expos are on the clock. With the 23rd pick, the Manhattan Expos select Khalil Harvey, infielder from Brooklyn. The Staten Island 61s are on the clock. With the 24th pick, the Staten Island 61s select Gregory Lozano, utility player from Queens. That will conclude the fourth round. The Staten Island 61s are still on the clock.
Just one player I want to highlight here in the fourth round, thanks again Rich, is Khalil Harvey, one of the first prospects to contact us, who is now the youngest player ever selected in the RBL draft, and I can't wait to see what skill set he brings as an infielder.
This is now the first pick of the fifth and final round. With the 25th pick, the Staten Island 61 select Anthony Perez, outfielder from Manhattan. The Manhattan Expos are on the clock. With the 26th pick, the Manhattan Expos select Angel Narvaez, pitcher from Brooklyn. The Long Island Lookouts are on the clock. Brewing. With the 27th pick, the Long Island Lookouts select O.J. Bruin, infielder from Long Island City. The Bronx Rubberball Club are on the clock. With the 28th pick, the Bronx Rubberball Club select Jeremy Vasconez, pitcher from the Bronx. The Brooklyn Bridges are on the clock. With the 29th pick, the Brooklyn Bridges select Alan Carl, outfielder from Queens. The Queens County Flyers are on the clock. With the 30th and final pick of the NYC RBL draft, the Queens County Flyers select Diego Acevedo, pitcher from the Bronx. That will conclude the inaugural NYC RBL draft. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to see you in the upcoming season, and play ball.
Richie, thanks for closing us out. But if there's one player I gotta talk about, it's outfielder Anthony Perez. If there's one thing I have to say about him, he's a tough out. This is against us in Riverside after a 1-1 count, fouls off a pitch, fouls off the pitch right after that, fouls off the pitch after that. He took a ball in one of the next two pitches, and then fouls it off again. Look at him. He's more than tired of this at battering. He wants to get out of it, whether it's a hit or it's a walk, and he draws the walk. So he's going to battle at every at-bat, and this Staten Island squad's going to be a force to be reckoned with.